You know, this country has a real debt problem. I'm not talking about the US debt, which is definitely problematic. I'm talking about US citizens. I'm talking about you and everybody else. We are living in a debt-ridden society. Ever since the pandemic, during the pandemic, people were paying debts down at rapid levels. But then when the country opened back up, everybody went out and started spending because they had saved during that pandemic period. But now people have gone through their savings and they're using credit cards just to maintain a standard of living, which is possible in this economy because most people are employed. Now listen, I'm not singling you out. I'm actually not talking directly to you. I'm just saying when you look at statistics, debt's a major problem. And along with debt, right now, you've got some of the highest interest rates we've seen in 23 years. So the debt is at a very high interest rate, which means the payments keep going up. So why am I saying all this? Well, I'm saying it because I'm about to show you, or actually I'm not. Christy, my guest, is gonna show you how to literally get rid of your debts. And how to get rid of your debts is not gonna mean going and getting a side hustle, not gonna mean at night you go work fast food restaurants, or God forbid you work the street corner. Just kidding. But I'm just saying you're not gonna have to do any of that. By following the system that Christy teaches, you will be able to get out of debt. And you know why I love that? You know what I do, right? The infinite banking concept. Teach people how to be their own bank. I can't teach you how to be your own bank if you're living paycheck to paycheck. If you're making money and all that money is going to pay for your standard of living and all those debt payments. So my guest, Christy Van, she's got a YouTube channel called Vantastic. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna explain to you what the velocity banking system is. And she's gonna show you how it can help you, how she can help you eliminate your debts. And once she does that, we can help you get started on being your own bank. Let's dive in. All right, Christy, I'm so glad we're having you on because my clients need what you teach. And you teach velocity banking. And I think the most unique thing is there's so many people we want to help with the infinite banking concept, but we can't because they're living paycheck to paycheck, or they're just in a scenario where they can't save money, which is required for the infinite banking concept. So I just want to kind of go in and just quickly explain to our audience exactly what velocity banking is, what you do within the velocity banking to teach it and also help people implement it. And then also, maybe if we could hit one case study on some of the most common things that you help people with.
Listen, velocity banking, when I learned about it, it literally changed my life. And it was because I was so busy trying to keep up with making payments. All I was focused on was, okay, this payment is due on the 1st and this one's due on the 5th and I have to pay my cable bill. So, that takes a lot of our time. And when I heard how velocity banking literally eliminates payments, and I know when people hear that, they're like, okay, what is this? That's not real. But when I started learning how velocity banking literally eliminated my credit card payments, okay? So I had small credit cards when I first started, but when I learned how to use velocity banking, the payments, which was about $125 each, went away and gave me $250 in cash flow a month. I was ecstatic because that meant a lot to me. I didn't have $250. And so I had been doing the Dave Ramsey plan. I saw a video you did the other day and it was awesome, the little short you did. I laughed till I thought I was going to die because that guy literally put Dave Ramsey in his place. Okay, I went off subject there. But what a 1960s idea that he's throwing out there with how to get rid of debt, how to eliminate it from your life. Long story short, all velocity banking is learning how to use the tools at the bank. We are taught to get loans all day long. Walk into one today and tell them that you want a line of credit, and they'll say, no, you don't want a line of credit, you want a loan because a loan has a lower interest rate than a line. Wow, I hear that every single day. And the point is you're dealing with two different types of interest, just like a Fahrenheit and a Celsius. two different same temperature, like 70 or 0, it doesn't matter. The fact is that they are two different measurements, systems that's actually going to tell you the same thing, but one is going to be a lot different. So that 0 on the Celsius, of course, that's going to be like maybe 32 degrees on Fahrenheit, right? So the point is that the line of credit has a higher interest rate, looking like it does, but that loan, I don't care if it's a 2%, it's going to be higher than the line almost every time. Why? Because you're dealing with amortized schedules. Those amortization schedules are literally laid out to give you monthly payments, and you're paying the same payment every month, right? Until that loan pays off. That interest that is in that loan has already been figured over the time of your loan. And if you're dealing with a mortgage, that's front loaded. So there are, that 3% on that mortgage is more like 60%. And Chris, you and I did a video not long ago talking about your own mortgage and how to get rid of it. And you had a really low interest rate, if I recall.
Yeah, I think it was like 3.5.
Right. So that was, if that's over a 30-year period, you can almost always get your mortgage paid off in the first 7 years. And I know that sounds so ridiculous, but when people realize how much interest they're paying out of each monthly payment that they're sending into that bank, very little is going on their principal. Very little.
I remember doing mine, and I kind of always knew that mortgages were front loaded. Maybe I knew a little bit more than the average person, but I also kept focusing on that low interest rate. I'm like, oh, I got one of those good low interest rates. But then when you showed me, pull out your statement, and you showed me, here's what you're paying to interest, here's what you're paying to principal. Now do the math. And I did the math, and I was giving 78% of every payment was going to interest. Like, that isn't helping me. That's not buying my loan down. That's just paying the bank all their interest up front. And then I get my equity much, much later down. And as soon as I saw that and you showed me how to use velocity banking, I have not stopped. I can't remember how long it's gonna take me to pay it down, but I've gone already from like 758, I'm down under 500,000 on my mortgage already.
Nice.
And gosh, when did we start that? Doesn't feel like it was that long ago.
Yeah, maybe 2 or 3 months ago. It's not been long.
I think it might be a little longer than that, but it's not much longer than that.
That is exactly why, though, I am just pushing my videos as hard as I can, because people are getting help every single day. And I can't even tell you how many times in a day I'm getting the comments. I get the emails. You have changed my life because of what you're teaching. And that is fulfilling for me. But it's also like a mission that I'm on, that people have to understand that you are not poor because you're just a poor, broke dude that won't get out and work. You are poor because the banks are set up against you. And as long as you use them incorrectly, you are going to lose. That's the way it's set up. The cycle is for you to buy the home and set up the 30-year loan. And guess what? Most Americans will move out of that house within the first 7 years. So that's why they have front-loaded that interest in that loan, is so they're getting the interest there. Then you're going to sell out maybe and move to another house and do it again. If not, in that 4th year, they're going to send you refinance papers. So that lets you reset all of that interest you've already paid, and you get to pay it again. So you are buying the bank's house or houses before you ever start working on your own home. And it's very discouraging. It's very, to me, it's just like, I'm in a rush, because I'm like, I've got to get this word out to people that you don't have to live that way. And the credit cards, everybody is consumed with credit card debt right now. Everybody that I have coming in, they almost always have 10 credit cards. And I'm not talking just 10, because I have them too, right? But I'm talking to the limit, right? That's a horrible way to live. People are suffering, they're struggling because they're freaking broke. That's literally what it comes down to. And these payments, when I show them how they can take maybe 5 credit cards, put them into a personal line of credit, maybe into a HELOC, and all those payments go away and become cash flow. Do you know I did one today? She had the 10 credit cards, and by the time we transferred everything over and got it, into a structure, into order, she had $3,000 a month in cash flow. I know. I was like, all day long I deal with that, all day long. So if you're out there and you're feeling like that you're paycheck to paycheck, you might have a very simple fix to that problem. And Chris, I hope that people understand just how easy and simple it is to start the velocity process. It's not hard at all. It's very easy to get these lines.
Yeah, I don't think it's hard at all. I think just the only thing people need to do is just get with someone like yourself and learn the process and build the system to solve their problem. Because like I said, the biggest thing that my clients need is a lot of them need to get out of that living paycheck to paycheck. Because if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're never getting ahead. You're a hamster on a hamster wheel, and you're just going to continue spinning yourself until you just can't spin anymore. Velocity banking and what you teach allows them to break that cycle, get off the hamster wheel very quickly, which basically puts them in the driver's seat. And then they just basically take a shorter amount of time to pay back the line of credit or the HELOC. Then they're ready to start doing the infinite banking concepts. And then they can apply infinite banking alongside velocity banking, and that's when stuff gets really crazy.
Right. It's just so simple, and I'm glad that you had me on today because I want to reach as many people as possible with this, because if we can get the American people, the world, I have people in the world contacting me, but the American people, you are set up to fail, and we want to bring you over to the 3% so that you can find peace.
Well, Christy, thank you so much for coming on. This is just going to really, really help change a lot of our clients' financial futures. So I appreciate what you do, and I know you do it every single day to the point where you're almost losing your voice, but you just keep going because there's so many people that need your help. So thank you.
You're welcome. And I have all the videos. It's free information, guys. It's free information. Everything that you need to know are on these videos. So just go check them out and learn by yourself and get out of debt and stop living like that. There's no peace there.
And in the description, folks, we're going to put the link to her YouTube and also another link so you can set up a call with Christy and her team and learn how you can apply the velocity banking to your personal financial life. I hope you all enjoyed that. That was a pretty good video, but let me ask you a favor. Since Christy did such a good job of explaining the velocity banking, I want to know how many of you would like to see her come back on and do a case study. If you want to see that, in the comment, write Christy. But also, right now, let's just keep going with that. How about clicking the subscribe button right there? And there's a little bell up top. Smash that bell so you're notified when we do the next video with Christy. So here's the thing. Some of you at this point are ready. You're ready to be out of debt. You're ready to take back control of your money. So if you want to talk to Christy, I'm going to put a link in the description. And that link, you can click it to set up a call with Christy to see how she can help you create a system to wipe out your debts using the velocity banking system. Thanks for joining. See you next time. Hey, and if you like this video, I worked with Christy to eliminate my mortgage. Check this video out right here. Gone in 66 months. She showed me how to eliminate my mortgage in just 66 months.